YouTube, what's going on? What's going on? Your boy Ron back with another small talk video. You know how y'all doing down in the comments section. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you're new. If you like more Commanders content, make sure to check out some videos down in the description. So let's get started. So today, I'll be talking about how the Washington Commanders have the most athletic linebacker core in NFL history, with the addition of Leo Chanel and Sonny Styles, Jordan McGee, and Kane Madrano, all having absolutely amazing raw athletic score. And I think Will Harris and Nick Cross will benefit from this front seven this season. Let's get right into it. So let's start off with Leo Chanel. So as we see here, Leo Chanel's raw athletic score is almost perfect. Or his relative athletic score is almost perfect. As you see, he has a 999 relative athletic score. This is awesome because you're gonna have that speed coming downhill when you're tackling the running back, when you're going after the quarterback in exotic blitzes in our defense now. And then now this athletic linebacker group with the addition of Leo Chanel and all these other guys, you're not gonna know what they're gonna do because you're gonna have guys in positions doing different things. Let's say Leo Chanel can drop back into coverage every once in a while. Chanel can rush the passer every once in a while. He can get the running back in the backfield. So you have to be able to be versatile in this Durante Jones defense, which is I'm very excited about this defense this year. Very, very excited about this defense this year. And Leo Chanel is also young, 25 years old, and he's a two-time Super Bowl champion. So he's young and he already has championship experience. So when the next guy comes, he can say, "Hey, I already know how to win this Super Bowl." So I can tell you what mother mentality you need to have is to win this Super Bowl this year. So that's a good thing. That's a nice addition to the defense. Another nice addition to this defense is, hold on, share this tab. Another nice addition is obviously Sonny Styles. Perfect 10 relative athletic score. And he is 6'5", runs a 4.46. And this here states, it says, Sonny Styles is a linebacker prospect in the 26th NFL draft, and he is second in the unofficial raw relative athletic score out of a possible 10. This is number one out of 3,215 linebackers from 1987 to 2026. Do you understand the magnitude that, bro? And this is crazy. The dude is 6'5". He's 6'5", runs a 4.46. His vertical is 42 and a half inches. Do you understand he can distract quarterbacks' eyes like that? The dude can blitz, he can cover, he can get after the quarterback, he can play slot, he can play safety. This dude is versatile. When you ask him to cover the tight end, he'd be like, okay, I can do that. You ask him to go get the running back, okay, I can do that. You ask him to blitz, he's like, okay, I can do that. I can play almost every position in this league. That is insane. And this dude is a former safety, by the way. This is crazy. This man is going to be an alien for us. This dude right here will be an alien. I think he's going to have that impact Jaden had on offense. That's what Dan Quinn said. This guy is going to have that impact that Jaden had on the defense. Man, that's crazy. This is insane right here. You're 6'5", you run a 4.46, and you have a 42.5-inch vertical. This guy is going to be a nightmare for offenses because, again, you don't know where he's going to line up. He could be blitzing one play. He could be covering one play. He could be just getting in the quarterback's way one play. You don't know what's going to happen. Make sure the offense doesn't dictate what the defense does. This defense is going to dictate what offenses do. We're going to set the tone, not the offense. Man, I'm telling you, there's going to be an exciting year for this defense. Next up, Kane Madrano. Not as athletic as a Sonny Styles or a Leo Chanel, but he still had a good athletic score, which is a 9.75, which ranks 73 out of 2,893 from 1987 to 2025. He also runs a 4.46. Crazy. And his vertical is 30 inches. That's about average for a linebacker. But I don't know if he'll get much run this season. I think he'll be the backup behind Styles and Chanel. Those are your two Mike linebackers. So I think he will get playing time just in case we rotate, but I don't think he'll get much. Last but not least, Jordan McGee from Temple. So Jordan McGee has a 9.32 relative athletic score, which ranks 192 out of 2,800 linebackers from 1987 to 2024. And he runs a 4.55 40-yard dash, and he has a 35.5-inch vertical. And again, we haven't seen much from him, but when we have seen him, he's made some plays. We just need to control that chaos. He is uncontrolled chaos right now. But I think if Durante Jones gets him mentally right, he can be controlled chaos on that field. And he will be a havoc wreaker for us in this season if he is subbed in some packages. So, and why I think Will Harris will benefit from this is because Will Harris had 22 total tackles. I wouldn't take that at face value because he did miss some games this year. He had 3 passes defended and 1 forced fumble this season. And drafted in 2019, had played 16 games with the Lions, had 43 total tackles. And then 2020, he had 35. He had 93 total tackles in 2021. 2022, he had 57. And his last season with Detroit, he played all 17 games and had 18 total tackles. Last year in 2024, he played in New Orleans, played 13 games, had 74 tackles, and he had 54 solo. And with the Washington Commanders, he only played in 9 games, and he only had 38 total tackles. So we can see Will Harris is a physical presence. Now, however, I think when you have this front seven that we have now, I think this will help him jump routes. This will help him get interceptions. This will help him get even better in this Durante Jones scheme. And I think that same way for Nick Cross. And Nick Cross. Speaking of Nick Cross, here he is. So Nick Cross this past season had 72 total tackles. He had 1 pick and 5 passes defended. The interceptions look good on safeties, but you're a box safety. You're not really there to get interceptions. You're there to cause disruption, blitz, stop the run. But I think this year he is going to be able to jump routes because of what our front seven is going to be able to do. So in 2022, he had 16 games played. He had 17 total tackles and 11 solo, 6 assisted tackles. Okay. In 2023, he had 17 games played, had 39 total tackles, had 24 solo tackles, I'm sorry, and 15 assists. In 2024, he had 17 games played, I'm sorry, 146 total tackles, 87 solo, 59 assists. He had a sack and a forced fumble in that season. And this past year, 120 tackles, 72 total, 72 solo, 48 assisted. And he had 2.5 sacks and a forced fumble. And he had one pick in 2025. He had 3 interceptions in 2024, and he had 1 interception in 2023. So in his career total, Nick Cross has played 67 games, has 322 total tackles, 194 solo tackles, and 128 assists, 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. And overall in his career, he has 5 interceptions. And he's only 24. So he hasn't even reached the peak of his career yet. And I think he will also benefit from this front seven because now you're going to be able to stunt, you're going to be able to move guys around. Guys have to be able to play multiple positions. The offense is not going to know what to do with our defense because we're going to be in so many packages and we're going to be subbing guys in and out all the time. It's going to be crazy for the offense to understand what we're doing. As you saw last year, that Vikings defense played that shell defense. They had pass rush. They had good cover corners. They didn't have the best, but they had good cover corners. And for him coming from that Minnesota defense under Brian Flores, you're going to see some of that scheme here. And I think this secondary as a whole will benefit from this defense that Deontay Jones is running because they're not asked to do a lot. Like they said in press conferences, it's easy for the defense to understand, but it's complex for the offense to pick apart. So I'm looking forward to what we can do on defense this season. And let me know. All right, and let me know what you think about this down in the comment section. And I'll see y'all on the next episode of Small Talk. Remember, we are live tomorrow talking about the top Damian and Jay's top 3 players for Washington in 2026. And we will also be talking about the NFC East and what that entails. So, and I'll see y'all on the next episode of Small Talk. It's your boy Commander Ron out. Peace.